The U.S. stock market bounced back today after falling a record-breaking 13% amid increasing concerns over the coronavirus impact. Is this market recovery for real? How serious of an impact could the coronavirus have on the global economy over time? And is it safe to invest in the stock market right now? In this video, we'll address each of these questions and give you some ideas as to where you might consider investing to hedge against a true recession. Before we begin, I want to thank all our new and returning subscribers for your continued support. If you're passionate about developing a diverse investment portfolio and interested in learning how to responsibly incorporate cryptocurrency into your overall wealth building strategy, don't forget to subscribe to our channel in the bottom right corner of your screen to stay connected. Here we go. Stocks opened higher on Monday, attempting a rebound after major benchmarks suffered the worst week of losses since the 2008 financial crisis. A decline largely blamed on worries surrounding the spread of COVID-19, which of course is the coronavirus. How are the major benchmarks faring now? Well, at the time of this recording, the three major ones, being the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ, are all up around 2.5%. So at a glance, it looks like the coronavirus fears may be coming to an end, but as you know, if you've been investing for any period of time, one day of good movement does not, of course, indicate long-term success. And on Saturday, President Trump gave a briefing, and if you didn't get a chance to see this, I just want to go over some of the things that he said here. And this was after the first coronavirus death in the U.S. Of course, there have now been two at the time of this recording, but he said additional cases are likely, but cautioned the public not to panic. He also went on to say that healthy individuals should be able to fully recover should they contract the virus. After the president was done speaking, Vice President Pence was talking about some of the new travel restrictions. So the U.S. is now heightening a travel advisory for specific regions of Italy and South Korea. Of course, we've had the travel ban on China and other countries already. But let's take a look at how serious the coronavirus actually is and try and analyze how long it could impact the markets and how deep it could impact the markets a little bit further here. Now, I found this website, which I will link in the description, which gives you a lot of different stats that update live about the coronavirus. And as you can see here, we've had 90,000 coronavirus cases and 3,000 deaths so far. And one thing I want to point out, and I want to do this carefully because I don't want you guys to sit there thinking that I'm completely insensitive, but I do want to point out that the amount of deaths are significantly lower than the overall cases. So what that signifies to me is that this is not going to be something that wipes out our world population. You know, when the coronavirus first came out and people first started talking about it, it was extremely scary to me. I always think back to Ebola and that disease, which is just extremely frightening. And I was a little bit worried that it might be something like that, as I'm sure you probably were. But I think now as time's passing, we're seeing it's a little bit more on the severity lines as the flu. To me, it seems similar to the flu. Now, granted, we don't have a vaccine, but President Trump is meeting with pharmaceutical executives today, and they will be looking to develop a vaccine for this. And basically, like I said, the death rate here is 6%. And as I mentioned before, the president, whom I do not always agree with, I should go on the record saying that, but I did like his stance here, and he did say that should you contract it, you should be able to recover, which leads me to believe that long term, I don't think the coronavirus will be the cause of a major recession in the markets. Again, this is just my opinion, but I think this will pass over. Another question I talked about in the introduction here is how bad could it get and what can you do with your money? So for me right now, I am watching and waiting on the stock market to see what its next move is. I have not pulled any of my money out of the stock market or put any new money in. I do think the correction that we witnessed was actually healthy because the stock market was just going up and up and up, and that's unsustainable and unhealthy in general. So I don't think this pullback was actually bad for the overall uptrend and the bull market that we've been in for the last, I believe, 11 years. And, I also want to give you perspective. I know I always talk about crypto on this channel, but the stock market is eventually going to not only correct, but turn to a bear market and head into a recession. That is inevitable. And, My plan is to set money aside and have money ready to invest. So I'm not putting all of it in, but I am saving up for a rainy day, so to speak. And that's one thing that I want to mention in this video. And the other thing I want to talk about in this video is cryptocurrency as a hedge. And if you don't know who this face is, you're probably not into cryptocurrency yet, but check out some more of my videos and start looking into it, because he says, and I believe, that cryptocurrency will be one of the best hedges. He says the best. I believe it'll be one of the best hedges if we enter a true recession. Remember, Bitcoin was made as a reaction to 2008's financial crisis. Bitcoin was made to thrive in a recession. We haven't seen one yet, so that's a theory. We'll have to test it out at some point in the future. I don't think coronavirus is going to be the cause of that, but I did want to mention this. And also, if you're new to cryptocurrency, I have a fair amount of beginner cryptocurrency videos that I would love for you to see and just start to kind of wrap your head around what Bitcoin is and other cryptocurrencies. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with a friend if you found value in the content. But I don't believe this is going to cause a true recession unless something unforeseen happens. I also want to remind you guys, I am not a professional financial advisor. I'm just someone who's passionate about this stuff and brings you my opinion, but this is not professional financial advice. But, you know, it's food for thought, and that's what we do here on Crypto Ride. Thanks for watching.